Poverty by Luis Miranda. What is poverty? Poverty is when a person is in a state of low income and does not reach a sufficient amount to be able to make a living. Poverty can also be seen from a statistical standpoint, but at times these numbers do not correlate in an accurate manner. A person can be in a state of poverty even if they have a home and that they are living in. Why I chose this subject. Poverty is a very common occurrence in my Hispanic heritage, and it is much more common to come across. I want to explore how we can deal with poverty and why it has been an issue for so long. I also want to explore the opportunities that are given to those in poverty, but how inaccessible it is at the same time. My personal story. Growing up, I was always moving around. I learned about an opportunity given to my family at a young age. I learned how to use it on my own by kindergarten. I remember us always using the opportunity because it was always hard to use our own money. This opportunity was food stamps. It was given to us, and we used it at our best. One day, this opportunity got stripped away from us. It was no longer available, and we were advancing in terms of poverty. But that small chance made us take a step back. What I will be discussing: the simple understanding of what poverty is. Poverty is universal in all stages, depends on how everyone responds to it. The discrimination that comes with poverty, the sociological perspective on poverty, and why it's so hard to change. My first source, Introduction to Sociology. The textbook goes into the deeper thought process on what poverty is, such as the systems that are created on it, the stereotypes given on poverty, what we can do to change. The textbook states when people lose their jobs during a recession or in a changing job market, it takes longer to find a new one. If they can find one at all, if they do, it is often at a much lower wage or not full-time. This shows us that it is difficult to acquire a job when it is lost and the ability to go back into poverty. The state of poverty is easy to achieve because it is easy to go back to square one. In society, many of these opportunities become non-present in terms of being able to step back and recover. And many of these jobs lack the ability to advance and create a loop of poverty in which they live check by check. My second source, El Andalón. This source was a documentary about a man that was placed in with the label being a doctor. This was because there was no true opportunities for people to have a proper education. Here we get to see about a man doing his best to be the person his community needs. Poverty is shown in this documentary in a way that it is inspirational. We get to see a man named Sergio who goes against all odds when he is surrounded in poverty. In his community, he starts to take a role in society and becomes a doctor within his community, making it extremely inspirational. Third source, poverty, discrimination, cultural norms, influence community well-being. Many people that are in poverty suffer discrimination because it cannot be seen as not being normal. How does one deal with social incompetence from other when it deals with poverty? What we can see is the interrelationship between poverty and personal thoughts. Psychology is applied to this in this textbook. Society recognizes that poverty exists, but many people do not, which can cause a sense exclusion that can be harmful and damaging as well. Many gender roles play a role in poverty, showing that women get paid less as well. Fourth source, sociological perspective on poverty. Poverty can be seen as a role in society at times. Many people that have power enjoy the structure of poverty and rich. The negative stereotypes that follow these aspects. Many see poverty as a disadvantage and do not plan on changing it. But many take this opportunity to change and take a role in society like we have seen before. They change these aspects and try to improve. In society, many take poverty and generalize it based on numbers, but in reality, poverty exists everywhere. Just society tends to ignore the culture that revolves around it. Last source, The Wolf of Wall Street. This film is a great example of what a state of poverty can do to a person. How far will we go to reach out of the circle to become on top? This film explores that idea, and the main character becomes what he always hated and what he never wanted to be.